officer at the World Water Forum, and I am responsible for the mobilization of the youth. So it's a great pleasure for me to welcome today 6 Japanese, well, children or teenagers, I don't know what we could say, but definitely not little children. They come here with solutions, and that's a real success. The youth has managed to come together and to frame their propositions in terms of solutions. That is great because it enhances the dialogue with the experts and the decision makers. And I'm very thankful to our partners because the role of the associations in allowing the youth to frame their propositions in terms of solution is absolutely crucial. So you're here today to listen to 6 presentations on very crucial topics. You can see that here. I think that will be very lively. I won't be able to stay the full presentation today because we have a lot of children from the schools of Marseille coming here as well. I'm very glad that you came all the way from Japan to present here, and I wish you a great session. Thank you.
I will introduce 6 presenters. Representative of Japanese children. Yuriko Kobayashi. Imo Tanaka. Yuki Shigemasa. Nakano, Ie Matsuzaki, and Sota Tsurimichi. I would like to introduce, explain the history of the Children's Forum in World Water Forum. Until previous forum in Istanbul, Children's Forum is held. In order to share great experience to water friends in Japan, domestic conference is taking place every year. In Marseille, 2 hours official session here in Children's Solution is setting. 32 participants and from all over Japan joined came together in Tokyo in last summer. And 14 university students also joined as a facilitator. And they divided into 5 groups and discussed 5 water issues each, seriously in 3 days, in 2 nights, in order to find out the solution. And 6 students selected and going to announce their solution to the world. Let's start the presentation from Yuriko, please.
Hello everyone. My name is Yuriko Kobayashi. action, our solution. First, I'll talk about the situation in Japan. This big circle is Tokyo, the capital of Japan. As all of you know, last year, Japan has been hit by a big earthquake that caused a huge tsunami. This one circle shows the area that had huge damage by tsunami. I'll talk about these two cities in more detail. Actually, my grandparents live in Iwaki, which was badly hit by tsunami, but luckily they were okay. Now, let me begin with Japan's problem. From the past, Japan has been hit by floods and tsunamis many times, which has caused a lot of damages. With regard to floods, Japan has rainy season in June and July, and typhoon comes in August and September. Typhoon is like a hurricane or cyclone. So in Japan, it rains about 1,800 millimeters in a year. It's twice as much as the world average. For these reasons, rivers often overflow and flood occurs. Next, with regard to tsunami, the oldest record about tsunami in Japan is 869. Since then, Japan has been hit by tsunamis every several hundred years. However, many Japanese people still lack awareness of preparations of water-related disasters, so they don't know the importance of countermeasures. As a result, we still have many victims. Then, we can reduce victims such disasters in several ways. As I said, on March 11th, 2011, Japan was hit by a big earthquake that caused huge tsunami. I show you a video about the situation. Tsunami? Then I'm going to tell you about the mechanism of tsunami. First, a huge earthquake occurs, and the bottom of the sea section rises. Second, vibration of the surface of the sea makes big waves to all directions. Third, wavelength of tsunami is much longer than the waves. I will show you the damages by the tsunami last year. As I said, my grandparents live in Iwaki, which was badly hit by the tsunami, and I went there last summer. I couldn't believe what I saw. It was catastrophic. Pieces of concrete seawall. This is a stool which flower piled up. Remains of destroyed buildings were gathered there. Although the Japanese government had prepared for the tsunami, this tsunami was much higher than expected. Tsunami caused nearly 20,000 victims. Then, I'll show two cases about how students evacuated from this big tsunami. One is a sad case in Ishinomaki. The other is a good case in Kamaishi. This is case 1. This yellow circle is Oka Elementary School in Ishimoki. This red circle is where the students evacuated. This green line is where the sea level reached. As a result, all people were hit by tsunami. About 2/3 of students, 70 students were killed by tsunami. Can you guess what such thing happened? Actually, a tsunami had never occurred in the place. Therefore, they thought tsunami wouldn't come. This means lack of preparation. 15 minutes later, they realized that tsunami had come, but they didn't know where to evacuate. They had little knowledge. The next case is Nosuma Elementary School and Kamaishi Higashi Junior High School in Kamaishi. When the earthquake occurred, all evacuated people were safe. This picture shows people evacuating. The reasons are as follows. Before the earthquake occurred, students practiced an evacuation drill 3 times a year. Therefore, they had deep knowledge about the danger of tsunami and know the importance of countermeasures. When the earthquake occurred, junior high school students, the elementary school students, and local people to a safe evacuation place. This resulted in a successful evacuation in the local connection and a higher survival rate. Let me summarize the key points. In the case 1, they hadn't decided where to evacuate beforehand, and they were lack of preparation and little knowledge. Therefore, local people who decided to evacuate to the school were also hit by the tsunami. In the case 2, students conducted evacuation drill regularly, so they were prepared and had knowledge. Thanks to this, students succeeded not only their own lives, but also other people's lives. In conservative, other activities can reduce victims. Then, I introduce chosen activities in Japan as local action. We are acting across the nation. This is our measure. First, we take part in evacuation drill. In the evacuation drill, namely, we perform evacuation routes in dangerous places. We make a local connection and make an action when disaster happens. Next local action is the study about water-related disasters. High school students hold a meeting to teach elementary school students and preschool students about the danger of rivers when the flood occurs. In another area, teenagers present picture card show to teach people all ages about the sound control dam. In other local action, we survey the quality of river water and compare before the flood and after the flood. Finally, let me summarize this presentation. As our solution, it is important for us to prepare for water damage in a local connection. In this presentation, I introduced a good case, case 2, where student preparation led to saving other people's lives, as well as their own lives. In this way, we can
from the many rivers around us. In Japan, unfortunately, children cannot approach the rivers for safety reasons. So, there are few children playing on the riverside. I think we as children should appreciate and show moral interest toward rivers. Secondly, I'd like to explain the water problems in Japan. Due to the lack of interest and appreciation of rivers, the water environment is getting worse. There is little interest in rivers. People have not seen rivers and their environment. There is little awareness of the water pollution we've done. There is water pollution and environmental deterioration of the water side. What are the solutions to encourage the children of the future to have more interest in rivers and to appreciate the importance of water? Having activities on the river is an ideal solution to these problems. The benefit of doing hands-on activities is that we can enjoy learning about aquatics and the water itself. It's easy to understand the water environment even for children. You can directly experience the water, and you can enjoy the pleasure and understand the dangers of playing by the waterside. Now, I'll talk about hands-on activities in Japan. Hands-on activity number 1. The first activity is by Keigo Miwa. She's a friend through the Water Forum in Japan. I'd like to tell you about our research activity on living creatures in the river. Through this activity, we can understand the condition of the river and increase our interest in the river and the aquatic creatures. In this activity, we go to a river at fixed intervals and observe aquatic creatures. The kinds of plants and animals can tell us how dirty the river is, and we can grasp its condition. We can see that there are more creatures than we expected, and we can learn about a new aspect of the river. That attracts our interest. Moreover, we are able to understand the conditions that are good and bad for the river. So, the results of this research will help us in environmental conservation. Hands-on activity number 2. Next is an activity by Nayuno Nakatomi. She's a friend through the Water Forum in Japan too. In this activity, we clean up so that other people can appreciate the place. This is useful for improving the environment of the river. Together, we can pick up the trash floating on the river and mow grass on the weedy riverside. This is the trash picked up in one day. Our volunteer cleaning will clear the riverside and also our hearts. We are so happy to find that our volunteer activity makes the environment for rivers better and better. I believe such cleaning activities will help your partner and rowing the kayak together makes it go smooth and straight. Be a good paddler or else the crew behind you will get dripping wet. It's exciting to play on the river and feel the speed of the current. Next, I'll talk about safety measures for the activities. To be safe is the most important thing when you do these three activities. Without some safety measures, we cannot enjoy the rivers. Make sure of the 8 points below. To do the activities safely, check the temperature, the current, and the level of the river. Check the weather on the upper or lower reaches of the river. Wear suitable clothes. Put a life jacket on. Wear warm gloves or a helmet if you need. Follow the leader's advice and instructions. Carry a first aid kit in case of emergency. Try to avoid hazardous or dangerous screeches. What can we experience through these activities? We can feel closer to the water. Feel the pleasure of playing on the river. Learn about the dangers of the river directly. Find a lot of living creatures on the river around us. Learn that there are some fish which cannot live in a dirty river. Make friends who are interested in the river and water. And get interested in rivers and the environment. These can only be experienced when we visit the river. After the activities, we have a meeting and exchange ideas. Our purpose is not only fun. We share good ideas for the next activity too. Everyone, let's enjoy the activities together. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Yuki Yamada. Today, I'd like to talk to you about living together with aquatic life. This is my outline. First, health conditions and problems in Japan. Next, local action. Finally, our solution. I'd like to start by looking at current conditions and problems. Many leaders agree with household trash and industrial wastewater. This means people don't think about damaging the environment. There are many problems, but these two problems are very serious. Number one, human health damaging the river's environment. Number two, the government is trying to improve the environment. Now, I'd like to talk about three remedies and current actions related to these problems. We Japanese children are taking action to solve these problems. Next, I will show you our actions. First, I will talk about the Ashita River, located in Hiroshima. Hiroshima is here. The water quality has been the worst of the area for about 40 years. The sewage runs into it, and there is a lot of trash. But one good point is there are many kinds of plants and animals life. Between the actually work on someone. Every time, our 30 students come to clean. We have done this action for more than 13 years. Through this action, we hope to make it easier for plants and animals to live. The scenery has also become nicer. Now, I will explain the characteristics of our cleanup action. Students can join a class and school class unit. Many students can enjoy cleaning together. This action has over than 10 years history. It has helped us build community. As you know, we have continued this action for more than 10 years. During this time, the water quality has gradually improved and sweet fish have returned to their shelter. Sweet fish can't live in dirty water. Do you know why this fish is named sweet fish? I don't know. The taste isn't sweet. It's salty. We haven't seen them for a long time, but finally they came back. We are proud of this action. Second, I will talk about Shigenobu River, located in Ehime. Ehime is here. There is an endangered species Hinaishi roach. The habit of this fish are known well. We are researching how to create a good environment for Hinaishi roach in order to conserve them better. Their habits are becoming clear little by little. We want to inform people of the result to increase public interest. So, I will talk about Lake Biwa, located in Shiga. Shiga is here. Lake Biwa is the largest in Japan. The water looks dirty, but its actual condition is unknown. So, we did a survey of water quality to find the actual water condition from the lake. This allows us to think about how to create a good environment for the plants and animals. We have had a look at 3 examples. We can see that it is important to continue actions. So let's talk about that point. I will show you our action site. I want to use the Ashita River as an example. First, we start cleanup movement. Then this reduces trash and becomes clean and beautiful. Lastly, we can create a better environment for living things. We can see a cycle through these actions. So let's sum up, shall we? I talked about three local actions by choosing. Case 1, cleaning action over cleaning. Case 2, biological research on Hinaishi roach. Case 3, survey of water quality for plants and animals. From this action, I came up with these 2 key ideas. Consider needs of living things and ongoing actions. To consider needs of living things means we should prioritize human needs too much. We have created a good environment we have to create a good environment both for living things and for humans. Ongoing means we should continue actions. If we continue doing action, we can make a better environment, both for people and message from Japanese children. Let's listen to the needs of living things and take action to help them. Thank you.
ボンジュールモンデマンベルケンダロナカノ I'd like to talk about how rivers connect us. I have met a lot of people through river activities. Rivers become a way for me to connect with people. I think people's connection is important to solve water issues. The outline is here. Firstly, industry and life as the water issues in Japan. Secondly, the local action for solving problems with 3 local actions. Thirdly, the merits of local actions. Finally, our solution. First of all, I will talk about industry as a water issue in Japan. In the high economic growth period of the 1960s, a lot of pollution caused by the industrial wastewater. And the river near my house was called Black River because people used the river water to wash the coal with their mind. At present, this pollution has improved dramatically because of the new anti-pollution laws of the 1967. However, that law didn't solve all of our water issues. There are serious water pollution today caused by chemicals in the river from agriculture and homes. Next, I'd like to discuss life as the water issues in Japan. At present, trash is one of the serious problems in many rivers. There are many kinds of trash. For example, plastic bottles, food packages, car tires, home electronics, and so on. How would you feel if you found a bicycle that was thrown away in the river? When I found this bicycle, I just felt very sad. When heavy rain falls, a lot of trash float out, and they lie on the riverside. The reason why this happens is that people don't have opportunities to get to know the current condition of the river. So I think we should make opportunities for people to let them know the current condition by providing local actions so that people can learn and enjoy the water. Next, I'd like to discuss 3 local actions. First, these are some activities by Kento. He is my friend through the water forum in Japan. He helps children experience important things, not to learn by sitting at a desk but were framed in the river to relate directly with the river. Children can feel the river's condition using the five senses. Kendall thinks that those actions with a lot of people can contribute to making opportunities for other people. The next one is the activity by Miharu. He is my friend through the waterfront in Japan too. In the water quality survey, he tested 10 places at the river, and he found that various organisms clean up the water. So Miharu will attract a lot of people by telling his discovery at the river. The last action is my activity. This is a firefly. Has anyone seen a firefly? Thank you. This is a symbolic summer insect in Japan. Fireflies have been recognized as a part of our culture in Japan since the 8th century. However, we hardly can see them in the river because of the water pollution. The same situation can be seen at the river near my house. People hardly go to the river because there are no fireflies anymore. This discourages the people from visiting the river. I think if fireflies come back, people will come back to river again. So we started activity for reviving fireflies in 2005. At present, we have been slowly working to adjust the current environment to bring the natural breeding by the biotopes near the river. Please look at this movie. Fireflies are flying. Please look at this picture. This is the scene of the fireflies at the river. Isn't it beautiful? I would like to see it again. There are two merits of local actions. Firstly, our aim is to get many friends interested. This has increased the members and support from many local people. Secondly, we visit the river and experience it. We enjoy friends at the river using the five senses, so everyone can enjoy and learn about the water and river. Finally, I opportunities becomes a chance for many people to turn their eyes to the river. So let's make opportunities to bring the people to the river. Thank you.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle Sota Tsukuri. We came here all the way from Japan. Introduction to Japan. We are in Marseille, France now, but here is Japan. In Japan, water is an important part of our culture. Do you know anything about water in Japanese culture? Do you know what this is? This is called mizu akari. It is a local custom in which the people put candles on the river to celebrate their happiness and appreciation for their life in their community. The most beautiful characteristic of the mizu akari is the light reflected in the water. Approximately 54,000 candles in a rainbow of colors floated on the river for 2 days. Next, I would like to tell you about an indigenous people in Hokkaido, the northern island of Japan, the Ainu. The Ainu people thought that God dwelled in nature and water. They took good care of nature and water, and always had feelings of science, and lived life according to a unique way of thinking called Suikan, which is water landscape. However, the environment has been damaged because such a culture has been forgotten in the present age, and people who believe in taking good care of nature and water have decreasing.
So, as we have already said, Japan has lots of customs related to water. But recently, Japan seems to be facing 2 huge problems. The problems are no interest and no information among the people. When we noticed about these problems, we thought about why these problems were occurring, and we came up with an idea. We think that everyone in Japan don't have interest because we have too much water. We have enough water for everything, so we always forget about the importance of the environment. And for the no information problem, we think that the Japanese people are not good at spreading the information. There's lots of organization within the community, but no one really knows about it because no one is good at spreading it. So how can we overcome these problems? To overcome the no interest problem, we think people not having interest in Japan is a huge problem. We see people brushing teeth and keep the water running, or throwing rubbish in the river, which is all really not good. So we have to stop these by telling those people to be aware about water in daily life and to keep avoiding waste. Telling them to avoid avoid waste and think about water from the daily lives. Make them think about nature, and it will lead us to making the better environment. The more people care about, the more people have an interest about nature, the environment will get better and better. So that we can change the problem, the no interest problem, to yes interest solution.
Because I want modern people to know about the culture of the Ainu people, I participate in quality of the water purification activity and maintenance activity of nature and organize the data from these activities. To people of the same age and other generations, I presented it in various forums. This picture is me, participating in the program, summarizing data, and presenting in a forum. I want to do my best from now on to inform people about Japan's water culture through this activity.
So, look at this picture. Isn't it cute? It's a monkey in a hot spring. By the way, hot spring is one of the most popular customs in Japan. Japanese people take baths almost every day, especially in winter. So, back to the picture. It's an animal living with nature, the water. And when I saw this picture, I really thought that we have to preserve the hot springs in Japan. We must keep this wonderful nature, the water culture alive. So now a solution. We know our problems, the problems of no interest and no information, and we also know how to overcome them. But to make a solution work, we need one thing, one important thing, which is people's cooperation. We need everyone's cooperation to keep the water culture alive. To get everyone's cooperation is a really hard thing, but we believe that we can do it. But we're still struggling of how to get everyone's cooperated, so we're waiting to hear some ideas from all of you. And yes, this is all for today, and I hope you learned something new, and I hope you enjoyed it. Merci.
Thank you very much. Next, from now, 10 or 15 minutes, please, if you have some question or suggestion or to please ask us, and we would like to reach the new solution in the discussion. Please take the soda by soda and beer.
So does any of you have any questions? Please.
Hi, my name is Bruno. I'd like to know if you put your information on the internet, and if you can find them.
Oh.
Yes.
Because I think internet is a good way to touch more people, and I find your information very interesting. I think it's a good means to touch a lot of other children and to make interest for water increase.
Okay, after we will come back to Japan, we will make a home website of the Poland. So you can search Poland. You will find that presentation.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, please.
My name is Mark Lamager from International Christian University in Tokyo. Are there some points of ignorance that you can tell us about that you notice people wish they knew more about water? 知らなさすぎるような水について知らなさすぎるような点、気づいた点とかあるとしたらば、子供同士若者同士でこういうことを知ってればいいなと思うような。
You're really good. Well, it's my idea, but I want people to know that there are some people working for the environment. So, do you live in Japan? So I think you know how Japanese people lose about the environment. No one really cares about it, but I think everyone should understand the importance. And I think that's what I want them to know. I said about the tsunamis. At first, when the earthquake occurred, we need to protect the head first, like cushions or have things under the desk. First, we need to protect the head. And second, if you are near the sea, you must evacuate to the higher place than you are in that place now. And I live near the sea, so if the earthquake occurred in my place, I need to evacuate as soon as possible. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask all of you a question? It's a question that I asked in my presentation. So Japan has lots of water, and we have too much. So I'm really sorry, but I never faced a problem of not having water because when I turn on the tap, we always get some. So it's really hard to know the importance. So how do you think we can tell them that water is important? Do you have any ideas? Like how can we, please?
I attended a session the other day, and I was informed that a very important tool for communicating that is having children analyze their own personal water footprint. It brings relevance to them, and it kind of shows their role in the greater community, and it can even motivate personal action to reduce their water footprint. So the water footprint is a very good tool.
Thank you.
There's another very good tool about consumption and about water, its price. If you ask people how much they pay for water, and even if there is a lot of water in Japan, everybody in Japan, I think every family pays for water. And in France, for example, if you ask people, usually they don't know. And a price which is interesting is not by cubic meter, because it's very complicated. It's by month, for example. So it's a way to share information about water and water scarcity, even if in Japan there's a lot of water, just like in France.
Hi. Gus from Green Belgium. Is this working actually, or yeah? Okay, sorry. I'd like to react to this. We work with small children as well. We teach about water issues and these kind of things. And I think, well, okay, the price of water is important, but I don't think children should be bothered with money at this age, you know?
It's funny, they ask their parents, because the parents don't know. And so it's just a trick to...
Yeah, I get where you're going, but no, I totally disagree actually, sorry.
One suggestion, teaching about virtual water, since Japan is the largest importer of virtual water in the world. It might be nice for Japanese children or young people to learn that although Japan has abundant water resources, it still imports more virtual water than any other country. Might be nice.
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment about just the sharing and comparing of case studies. And I work for the International Water Association. We have a program called the World Water Monitoring Challenge Program, and basically involves water quality testing. And you guys could go out with some basic testing kits and share your data with the rest of the world. So it goes onto a global platform. And I think this is a good way of kind of sharing your examples of, you know, your testing sites, but sharing your data with a school in Bangladesh, for example. And I think then you'll start planting the seed in people's heads to say, look, we have really great water quality, but other sort of water realities around the world aren't so lucky.
I actually just have a very simple question. Because you showed like the children playing in the river, swimming in the river. Did they do this because of you made this action, or do people in general, children in general, still play and swim in the rivers?
In Japan, lots of people play with like a video game, so they don't really go out. So we don't have action, and no one plays it.
So they don't swim in the rivers.
Yeah. So some people can't swim.
So there's this, I don't know if you know, this is the international action actually, the big jump. Have you ever heard about it? I'm gonna give the information to our friend there as well. It's an action just one day in the year across the world. In Europe it's quite big. People jump in the river just to give attention to the pollution of the rivers. Because in Belgium, for instance, people don't swim in the rivers because they're polluted. Because they're too polluted, it's not healthy to swim in the rivers. So they want to, make this a concern to the community that by jumping in the river, to show that they want to actually swim again in the river. But okay, they play video games.
Any others?
One question is really interesting for you. It's just we doing kayak and sports. It's very interesting for children. But cleaning river, that's best. It's really interesting for you, and you can do that anywhere and anytime. Already you can think about that because it's for one program I want to know. I was children, but I'm now adult, so I want to know for children. It's bad. It's really interesting for you.
We don't know, but I think it might be like a start beginning for people to have interest. Maybe they don't have it when they start, but as they like participate in more fun ones, I think they have more interest. But I don't do much activities, so. She said that she belongs to a organization called the Eco Club, and people who come, children who comes to that activities, is like really enjoying it.
Yes, guys. I think about that. Those like youth and sports is very interesting. I think about everyone like this one, but we have to training or walk. We have to walk for the river. We have to walk for the river and for save a river. It's not just a sport. It's really one job difficult. So it's very difficult for children, I think. But so we have to find interest with this walking. So I think about that. If you don't do sport and anything with just activity, and you just in question, if you have to do just walk for the river, you think about that. It's interesting.
On mène ces activités au bord de la rivière, on se promène et on recherche aussi des endroits plus sympathiques.
So I shared in English. She said that she do it at the same time, so they play it first, then as appreciation. She do the fun part at the beginning, and as appreciation do the cleaning up. So maybe if it's only cleaning up, maybe not many people might not participate, but because they do it together, they know why they clean up. So that's how she's doing it. Is that okay?
Yes. So just for you, it's interesting, and you can find think about that? Is it very important?
Yes, I think it's important. Well, when I came to this forum, I met a girl from Palestine, and we were doing like activity of how to represent the sound of the water. And in Japan, when we say the sound of water, we say like sha, kind of that. But she said drip, drip. And I asked her why, and she said because in Japan, in Palestine, she doesn't have enough water. And yeah, coming to this forum really made me think that the water environment is really different within the country. So yeah, it's really something important for me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Japan, and they will discuss water friend in Japan. Thank you very much. And we will have some small gift for you. So, and they will greet you directly. So please give it. It's a memory of Japan, Japanese. Thank you very much.